The Wish Dragon. Written and created by Jenne Saunders. In the bustling, layered streets of modern Shanghai, neon reflections on rain-slick pavement, steam rising from street vendors, and ancient alleyways tucked between glass towers, lived Din Song, a young working-class college student whose heart held quiet, stubborn dreams. He studied by night, worked by day, and kept a faded photograph of his childhood best friend, Li Na Wang, folded in a book. Years ago, she had left with her successful father for a life of fashion and privilege. Now she moved through a world of designer lights, private events, and polished smiles, while Din's life was threaded with overdue bills and family dinners. Yet he carried no bitterness, only a gentle longing to reconnect. One drizzly afternoon, in a narrow lane where calligraphy shops leaned into each other like old friends, an elderly man crossed Din's path. There was an odd shimmer about him, a quiet authority and a softness in his eyes that felt like a threshold. He pressed an old, ornate teapot into Din's hands and said only, "Guard this well." That night, alone in his modest room, Din turned the teapot over, tracing the tiny dragons carved into the bronze, feeling warmth beneath his fingertips. Slowly, the teapot began to glow. A faint steam scented with jasmine curled from the spout, and the carved dragons seemed to breathe. Din's breath caught. Threads of memory, hope, and theory braided into a single thrill. This small object, ancient and humming with hidden power, felt like a doorway. He could not know then that it held a presence both ancient and impatient, a being that would change the course of his life and test the meaning of his wishes. Steam thickened and swirled, knitting itself into scales and whiskers, until in a burst of warm gold, a grand dragon uncoiled into the room. This was Long, centuries old, wry and world-weary, with an imperial bearing that barely hid a sharp edge of cynicism. He spoke with the weight of centuries. 3 wishes, he proclaimed, with the weary resignation of one who's seen empires rise and fall. Long had been trapped for 1,000 years. Din, the teapot's last finder, would be his final master. Din surprised himself. His wishes were not for dominion or endless riches, but for the small, human things that might reconnect him to Li Na. His first wish was for temporary kung fu skill, confidence, poise, an ease in movement that would let him stand tall in her world, if only for an evening. The second was for enough wealth to attend her exclusive birthday celebration as a princeling. Not to deceive with malice, but to bridge the impossible gap between their lives and to speak to her as an equal. At the party, under chandeliers and the shutter clicks of cameras, Din stepped into a glittering scene of laughter, curated charm, and whispered rivalries. Li Na, luminous and distant, moved like someone accustomed to being observed. The reunion was gentle and awkward, threaded with childhood jokes and the ghost of shared secrets. Long watched with a puzzled smirk. A being who once ruled with sharp efficiency could not yet grasp why Din risked so much for a friendship, not for power. Outside on the rain-dark street, shadows moved, a hint that others coveted the teapot. The night's enchantment trembled on the edge of danger. Word of the teapot's power had spread like a current. A trio of hired henchmen, led by a sharp-eared opportunist known as Pockets, tracked Din through alleys and through the glitz of the party. Pockets was small, quick, and cruelly practical, a man who had learnt that fear paid. When the hunt erupted into violence, crystal glasses shattered and silk brushed against worn denim as the two worlds collided. In the struggle that followed, Mr. Wang, Li Na's father, driven by debt and love in equal measure, stepped between Din and danger. He was wounded trying to protect the girl he loved and the man who reminded him of his own better nature. As Din held the fading breath in the palms of his hands, the glitter of the party and the gleam of wished-for wealth meant nothing. Long, witnessing this quiet, unbearable reckoning, saw the lesson he had skirted for centuries. Power without compassion is hollow. Din's final wish came through tears and a voice made steady by choice. He asked not for glory, not for fortune, but for Mr. Wang's life to be saved. The wish unfurled not as spectacle, but as a gentle, fierce mercy. The wound closed, breath returned, and the urgent, bright thread of human connection rewove itself. In the months that followed, something humble and beautiful grew. Mr. Wang, Din, Li Na, and Din's mother combined strength and recipes and started a small restaurant, a place where laughter and hard work stitched together their different worlds. The teapot returned to Din, and Long, transformed by service and sorrow, learned that humility arrives slowly. He would serve 10 more masters to understand it fully. The final image is simple. Steam rising from a shared bowl, the warmth of family, and the quiet, enduring truth. Relationships and kindness are worth more than any wish could buy. I do hope you enjoyed my video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Kisses, Jenne Saunders.